Welcome to the Deep Dives. Today we're plunging into a topic that, well, at first glance, it might seem like a total oxymoron. AI in the wilderness.
Right.
Think about it, high-tech artificial intelligence meeting the wild, untamed beauty of nature. Most of us head outdoors, specifically to disconnect from technology, right?
Yeah.
To escape the screens.
Yeah,
So this pairing feels, well, a bit counterintuitive.
it absolutely does, yeah. But what's truly fascinating here is how artificial intelligence isn't just for our offices or smart devices anymore. It's actually actively enhancing outdoor adventures. Everything from the earliest planning stages right through to ensuring safety and even like deepening our enjoyment of the whole journey.
Yeah.
And this deep dive, it's based on a really thought-provoking article by Stephen Higgins. He's got feet in both worlds, an AI and product development leader, but also, really importantly, a passionate outdoor enthusiast himself.
Ah, okay, so he gets both sides. That's why I was so intrigued. Our mission today, then, is to explore how AI is carving out this surprisingly powerful role in outdoor recreation.
Yeah.
Look at specific innovations and, importantly, sort of grapple with that balance. How do we integrate this tech without losing the essence of the traditional outdoor experience?
Right, the core feeling.
Exactly. So this deep dive should offer some valuable insights for anyone curious about how this rapidly evolving tech meets, well, these age-old passions.
And our aim, really, is to demonstrate how AI can be a powerful ally out there in the wilderness, not just another distraction.
An ally, okay.
Its potential for enriching our adventures and significantly boosting safety is definitely something worth digging into.
I remember, gosh, not that long ago, planning a serious backcountry trip meant like spreading out these massive topographic maps across the living room floor.
Oh, yeah, I've been there.
Poring over heady guidebooks, scribbling endless notes about route options. My own living room often looked like a topographic nightmare.
Yeah. Highlighters everywhere.
Totally. It was a whole ritual. And then came the early digital tools, right? We started seeing apps like onXmaps, onXtarfro, Garmin's Basecamp, Gaia GPS.
The first wave.
These offered digital maps, lots of trail data, route builders, all right there on your phone or GPS. It definitely felt like a game changer for efficiency back then.
They absolutely were. And they made planning more efficient in lots of ways. You could, drop a point on a map, navigate through tricky dirt roads, save routes, share them.
Yeah.
But even with those tools, there was still a pretty significant gap. Stephen Higgins, the author, he talked about his personal challenge. How do you seamlessly connect multiple points of interest, support services, gas, food, camping?
Right.
For a long multi-stop journey without just endless manual stitching, cross-referencing, Googling every little local highlight. He wanted to soak it all in, take scenic detours, not miss those hidden gems.
Yeah, that manual part could take hours.
Exactly. And that challenge really underscores the why behind seeking a smarter, more automated solution.
And that why led him to this personal project he called onXplore. He basically imagined it as an experimental AI trail planning assistant, sort of like a smart co-pilot living right inside his mapping app.
Yeah.
The idea of an AI co-pilot for the wilderness, that sounds pretty revolutionary.
It's a brilliant concept, really. onXplore uses generative AI, similar to what powers models like GPT-4, and it combines that with open trail data, like the huge database from Trailforks.
Okay.
And it has several core capabilities. First, there's tailored trail planning. You can tell it your preferences, maybe high clearance 4x4 trails, or you want a moderate to difficult experience level.
Right.
And it filters through countless trails to give you an optimal, coherent path that matches what you asked for. It's not just, a straight GPS line from A to B. It's a custom string of trails making up a whole journey.
So it actually understands the type of adventure you're after, not just the coordinates. But how smart is that understanding? Could it, say, adapt if a storm rolled in, or if I change my mind mid-trip about difficulty? Does it factor in real-time stuff?
Well, its main job is building that initial intelligent route. Real-time adaptability for dynamic things like weather is still kind of the next frontier. It's evolving. But it can factor in known conditions like seasonal trail closures.
Okay, that makes sense.
And secondly, it suggests points of interest. POIs along the way, like a knowledgeable friend would. Could be scenic overlooks, historic landmarks, hidden waterfalls, and it gives you little snippets about what makes them special, like ancient petroglyph site or something.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's moving the planning beyond just functional, isn't it? It's almost like creating a narrative for the trip.
Absolutely. It anticipates your needs, suggests those hidden gems you might not have even known to look for. And thirdly, it identifies crucial support services and safety stops.
Right, the practical stuff.
Yeah, an expedition isn't just trails. You need fuel, food, places to camp. So it provides details like gas station hours or types of campsites available. It even flags remote stretches where you won't have cell signal, or warns about seasonally closed trails.
That's super useful.
And then there's the fun extra, a personalized soundtrack. It can generate music playlists tailored to the adventures region and the vibe.
Seriously.
Yeah. Imagine getting Southwestern-inspired tunes for an Arizona to Utah trip.
Wow, okay. This is where it goes beyond just utility into something genuinely unique. An AI curating a soundtrack that fits the landscape and the mood. That's a pretty creative application.
It really is.
Now, Higgins actually shared a concrete example of what onXplore could spit out, and it's incredibly detailed. Imagine asking it, plan an off-road trip from Flagstaff, Arizona to Moab, Utah, mostly difficult 4x4 trails.
Right.
And you get back this full 4-day, difficult 4x4 trail adventure itinerary.
It's remarkably comprehensive.
Yeah, like day 1, Flagstaff to Sedona. It suggests trails like the Smiley Rock Trail marked difficult and Schnebly Hill Road, moderate difficult. Points out POIs like the Sedona Overlook. Even lists fuel and food stops. Gas and supplies in Sedona or Flagstaff suggests the Hudson Upscale Dining for lodging. Cinder Hills OHV area or dispersed forest camping near Sedona.
And the playlist.
And the playlist. Red Rocks and Pine Trees with artists like the Allman Brothers Band, Van Morrison.
Nice. And then for day 2, it maps out a Navajo Nation scenic transfer page to Moab, suggests the fastest route via US 89, 160, 191.
Okay.
POIs include Monument Valley, Gooseneck State Park, lists fuel and food in Kayenta or Page, even recommends Amigo Cafe for Navajo tacos.
Love that detail.
And the soundtrack for that day is Highways and Horizons with artists like the Highwaymen and Eagles. It really makes the planning feel like a human TripAdvisor put it together.
It really does. It almost feels a bit too good to be true in a way. So how's it actually doing this level of detail and personalization? What's under the hood?
Well, the underlying tech is basically a combo. You've got a large language model, an LLM think, the sophisticated AI brain, like in GPT-4, handling the narrative parts.
Right, the descriptions, tips, playlist.
Exactly. And that gets integrated with mapping APIs and databases for the hard data trail coordinates, distances, elevation, where the gas stations are, stuff like that. The generative AI is really good at synthesizing all that info and even getting creative with those thematic playlists. The author, Higgins, he noted that these chatbots can handle maybe 80% of the planning work, giving you a solid draft really quickly.
80%, that's huge.
It is. And this is really important, he stressed the need for human verification.
Ah, okay. So the AI gives you a massive head start, a draft.
A hyper-efficient first draft, yeah.
But it absolutely doesn't replace that crucial step of checking it yourself, especially for safety and accuracy. That seems vital.
It is absolutely vital. You still need to cross-check the suggestions against reliable sources, official maps, current conditions, use your own brain.
That makes perfect sense. Okay, so moving on from these really cool personal projects like onXplore, what happens when the big players, the major companies in the outdoor industry, start bringing AI into the mix? Are they seeing the same potential?
Oh, definitely. The industry is recognizing AI's value. Take AllTrails, for example.
Yeah.
Super popular hiking app, right?
Yeah, lots of people use it.
They recently introduced an AI-powered custom trail routes feature. It's for their premium members. You can ask the app to, say, shorten my route or make this loop more scenic, and the AI generates a modified trail for you.
Okay, that sounds incredibly convenient. But I can also immediately imagine the safety conversations that must spark up around that.
You're right on the money there.
How are they addressing concerns about hikers maybe, relying too heavily on these AI routes without using their own judgment?
Yeah, you're right to raise that. It's definitely not without controversy. Search and trust an AI route without cross-checking it against official maps or considering real-time conditions like weather or trail damage.
Right.
There was even a pretty well-publicized incident where some hikers needed rescuing because they followed a route planned by ChatGPT without enough verification.
Oh, wow.
So AllTrails, their response is to emphasize that their AI suggestions are backed by data from hundreds of public land managers. They're trying to ensure routes are safe and verified. But the crucial point here, and it echoes what Stephen Higgins found with his project, is that while AI gives adventurers more options, empowers them. Human judgment and basic navigation skills. Still, absolutely essential. Non-negotiable, really.
That's such a critical message for anyone using these tools.
Yeah.
Okay, so beyond AllTrails, what else is the broader outdoor industry doing with AI? Any other big examples?
Yeah, outside, the media company behind Outside Magazine, Backpacker,
Sure.
they launched an AI concierge named Scout back in 2024. Scout is a custom chatbot built on OpenAI's GPT model, but here's the key. It's uniquely trained on Outside's massive library of outdoor articles and guidebooks.
Ah, so it's got domain-specific knowledge.
Exactly. It acts like an extremely well-read hiking buddy. So if you ask Scout something like, what's the best 7 to 10 mile mountain view hike in North Cascades National Park, it pulls info directly from expert-written trail guides in Outside's database. It suggests specific trails, gives you details, and even references the published guides it used.
That's clever, citing its sources.
Yeah. It's like a one-stop adventure advisor. Gear recommendations, trip itineraries, even campfire recipes. And looking ahead, Outside plans to integrate Scout even more deeply with tools like Trailforks and Gaia GPS.
That sounds like truly integrated planning is getting closer. Asking for a mountain bike route and getting a Trailforks map popping up instantly. That would be something.
Yeah, seamless.
And what about the traditional navigation companies? Or the actual gear we take out with us?
Yeah.
Is AI showing up there?
For sure. Companies like Garmin are already integrating AI-driven fitness feature, adaptive training plans, performance insights.
Right, for runners and cyclists mostly now.
Primarily, yeah. But it's not a huge leap to imagine AI helpers guiding hikers or climbers right on their Garmin devices in the future. And apps like Komoot, they use techniques that are sort of AI adjacent, like their Trail View feature. It compiles user photos so you can virtually preview trail segments.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
Well, imagine AI analyzing those images to warn you about specific obstacles, like a washed-out bridge or a big rock fall.
That would be useful.
And on the gear front, people are exploring AI for things like adaptive headlamps. They adjust brightness based on where you're looking, or even smart insoles that detect weird changes in your gait to maybe prevent injuries.
Wow, okay. It's clear AI is moving way beyond just the planning phase. What about safety and conservation? This feels really important.
Yeah.
Beyond just pre-trip warnings, how can AI actually, save lives out there?
This is honestly one of the most compelling areas for search and rescue, SAR. Researchers have developed AI models that predict where lost hikers are likely to wander.
Wow.
By studying patterns from thousands of real-life missing person cases, how people behave when lost in certain terrain. These models create heat maps of probable locations.
So they tell rescuers where to focus first.
Exactly. It gives them a significant head start. And then you have AI-powered drones that can scan huge backcountry areas way faster than humans, using thermal imaging, object recognition.
Incredible.
Then there's predictive analytics. Modern AI weather models, like Google DeepMind's GenCast, can process enormous data sets to give faster, more accurate forecasts. Sometimes they even outperform traditional models.
Better weather forecasts are always good news for hikers.
Totally. And this means more reliable, specific warnings like, hey, expect strong winds and a sudden temperature drop at 3 p.m. on the ridge ahead. Some trail apps are already integrating these kinds of alerts.
Okay.
And finally, real-time trail conditions. AI can monitor satellite imagery and user reports for hazards, think mudslides, wildfires, even maybe wildlife sightings being aggregated.
That's genuinely impactful stuff.
Yeah.
But AI can also enrich the experience itself, right? Not just make it safer or easier.
Absolutely. For nature interpretation and education, think about apps like iNaturalist Seek.
Oh yeah, the Plant and Animal ID app.
Right. It uses image recognition. You just point your phone's camera at a flower or an insect, and boom, it tells you what it is.
Yeah, my kids love that.
It's fantastic. And there are other AI tools emerging that can identify bird calls by sound or recognize constellations in the night sky. These capabilities really deepen our connection to the environment. They turn an adventure into like an interactive field trip.
So it's not just about getting from A to B efficiently, but understanding more about what's between A and B.
Yeah.
That's cool. And on a bigger scale, how is AI helping manage and protect these wild places we love?
Great question. In conservation and trail management, machine learning is being used to analyze satellite imagery
Okay.
and even data from hikers' GPS tracks, believe it or not, to gauge things like trail erosion or detect illegal off-trail use, like where people are cutting switchbacks.
Using our data for good.
Potentially, yeah. There's one project using AI to track foot traffic on popular trails, helping park services figure out when a trail needs maintenance before it gets totally wrecked.
Right.
And you could even imagine an app suggesting lesser-known, equally beautiful trails when a really famous one is getting overcrowded, helping spread out the human impact.
Okay, so AI helping promote sustainable recreation.
Exactly. So in these ways, AI isn't just helping us adventurers, it's quietly helping the wilderness itself by informing better management practices.
Okay, so this brings us to the big question, really, as we wrap up. Is AI in the wilderness truly an oxymoron after all? Does relying on AI diminish that core sense of adventure? You know, the unpredictability, the self-reliance that many of us seek when we head into nature. I mean, part of the thrill is getting a little lost sometimes, finding your own way, isn't it?
That's a fair and really vital concern, and it's something Stephen Higgins, the author we mentioned, addresses directly in his piece.
Okay.
He argues that this convergence algorithms meeting outdoor data, it's incredibly exciting. It can make adventures safer, more accessible, more tailored to what you personally enjoy.
Yeah.
However, he strongly emphasizes that AI should be seen as an augmentation, not a replacement.
Augmentation, not replacement. Huh?
He still carries paper maps, a dedicated GPS, offline maps on his phone, all as backup. And he still values that serendipity of discovery, like taking a wrong turn that leads to some gorgeous meadow that wasn't in any plan.
Right. Those unexpected moments are often the best part.
They really are. So it's about finding that balance, isn't it? Not just throwing out traditional skills or the unexpected joys of exploration.
Exactly. It's about balance.
Precisely. AI is a tool. A very powerful one, yes. But in the end, we are the ones doing the adventuring. The real thrill of the outdoors comes from our human experience of it, right? The triumph of reaching a summit, the camaraderie around a campfire, the sheer peace of watching an alpine sunrise.
Yeah.
AI's best role, maybe, is to enhance those moments, perhaps by helping us get there more easily or learn more while we're there, but not to eliminate the uncertainty and the challenge that actually make adventures adventurous.
I think that's a perfect way to frame it. This deep dive has really shown how innovation can pop up in unexpected places. It creates some incredible opportunities right at that intersection of, high tech and high country. For business leaders, tech professionals, it really challenges our assumptions about where technology belongs.
It absolutely does, and it offers a pretty compelling vision for the future of how we explore the outdoors.
So just to briefly recap then, AI is rapidly changing outdoor experiences, making them more informed, safer, richer in some ways. And it's definitely challenging that traditional idea of needing to completely disconnect from tech when you head out.
It's a fascinating new frontier, absolutely brimming with potential.
And that leaves us, and you listening, with something to really ponder. How might AI not just guide our adventures in the future, but maybe subtly reshape our very definition of what it means to truly explore and connect with the natural world? What new forms of wilderness might even emerge when technology helps us see and experience it in entirely new ways?